Hello and welcome to Healing Space with Gently Healing. I am Jen Tilley and I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Hello, Sammy. I'm so happy to see you in here. I love you very much and such a nice surprise every time I pop on here to see who's going to be watching. And I share this every time where it's like Christmas, where it's like, or the night before, just the anticipation of who's going to be here inside this space. And each and every one of you add a special and significant, uh, experience to doing this. It's just an energy that comes into the space. You can just sense it and feel it. And it just is so rad. And I just want to say how much I love and care about you guys and how much I look forward to getting on this show and being able to talk with you guys and share with you about the adventures of this world. And it has been a really rad experience every single time. And I want to say thank you to Robert Howley, who put that music together. He compiled my meditation and the flute playing with his style of music. And oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I love to just be able to share it with you all while we all come together inside this space. It's so cool. And Zach, it's happy to see you in here. I love you very much. And hello, Robert. Thank you. You're here. Yes, higher frequency. You make such awesome music and videos that you share with the world. And I just love you in this space so much. Oh my gosh, how cool. And hello, Lucinda. I love you. I'm so happy to have my my household here kind of back. Joe and Lucinda had gone away up to Leavenworth last week and Leavenworth, Washington. And that's one of my most favorite places in the entire world. And man, it's nice that they got to have that adventure. Joe has lived there before, but Lucinda had her first time. And I don't know how many of you out there have had a chance to even make it to Washington State here in America, let alone to Leavenworth. But if you are looking for places to travel anytime, I would highly recommend that cute little Bavarian town. It's about 2 hours outside of Seattle. It's awesome. Lucinda, I'm glad you're back. And Willow, so much love to you. I'm so happy to see you guys in here. Oh my gosh, it's been such a journey. Like every time I come on, I feel like it's been ages since I saw you, and at the same time it feels like so quick. It's like both simultaneously happening. I had somebody ask me like a couple weeks ago now, maybe not so much that long ago, but still within recent history, and just kind of how it feels like or based off of what I found, it's like time is operating simultaneously, past and future, and now is all happening within this space. And when I have an opportunity to take like a week away from you and see how that actually feels, it feels very much like that it's all operating simultaneously. Like it was just moments ago I was with you guys, but at the same time it feels like quite a lot longer than that. So, oh man, I was mentioning to Zach, I'm like, I have no idea what I really am going to talk about today, but that is like so often how that goes for me. I don't want it to be scripted when I come on here. I want to be able to sense the energy of this space. I want to just see what free flows out of my mouth. And I think when I organize and I prepare, which, I've had ample opportunity to see the difference. Like when I first started the shows, I'm like, I'm going to talk about this with astrology and all these aspects that are very interesting to me, but it was more, not so much scripted as it was like planned. And I really love the organic nature of just coming on and just free flowing with my thoughts with you guys. I think that shows the most like authenticity in the space of where I am, so I can reflect on that, and then also to allow you guys to just see authentically where somebody else is. And I found over all the course of doing this with you guys that we are so entangled, and so many of us are just going through the same kind of stuff. And so it's very fascinating to watch that. The last few weeks I talked about how my business has boomed, and it's been wonderful to work like hard and not just like hard, but I really love the healing space, like all aspects of it. I love the sound healing. I love body work. I love talking about my own healing and how I look at organizing my mind. These are the things that I am so passionate about. And it's very interesting because I think that there's something about this space for me that just lights me up. It just like ignites something within me. And I'm just really grateful to be like I guess put the spotlight on myself, and I just feel that it helps me so much just shine the lights for me of where I'm at right now. And just even like looking back and watching like how I navigated the very busy, you know, the world of just like an influx of business coming in and balancing my schedule and giving up some of the time that used to be like free time to now I'm doing this work. But when you love what you're doing, I can tell you it doesn't feel like work. I can tell you that I can get tired, like I did a long like workout or something like that, because body work, for example, is it could be very taxing if you have 6 clients in a row and you're just like boom, boom, boom. I am happy with the way my body responds to that and to be able to have the exercise. But for the most part, like I'm not psychologically tired in the way that I would be if I was working some other kind of job. I know that it's important in this world for us to be able to have food and some semblance of roof over our head so that we can weather the storms externally in this reality. But I also think that having food and a roof over your head in some way also helps you weather the storm on the inside. I've done all aspects where I had the opportunity to live outside in nature, but I still had like my vehicle or a tent or something that I could just go inside. And if it was raining or if it was too cold, that I could be warm. And I think that that is a very nice luxury to be able to have in this life. And I think that it also helps psychologically in many ways, to be honest. I love living out in nature. I can tell you, if sleeping outside every single night is such a privilege just to be able to have that experience. And there's something really just about how nature just flows through you. And maybe it's just to the molecular level that the atoms that are flow like flowing freely throughout the space is like not restricted, and it's just that natural energy. There's a difference when you wake up when you've been sleeping outside, let's say on a hammock or a cot, and it's just straight outside. And it's just refreshing. I don't know, it just feels like you have just bathed yourself in nature really. And just even your dream space feels very different there. And I'm just grateful that I went on a journey to be able to look deeper at that and question everything that it was that I was ever taught. Like, I know even like when you tell your family that you're going to go out on the road, for me anyway, a lot of people in my life, most of the people in my life, it felt like was like, "What are you doing? This is crazy. Securities, are so important." And there was a lot of worry that came into the space from others. And for me, it was just like I knew it was the next indicated step, no matter what it looked like, how it was, questioning, like even showering. Like I love to shower, but how often does one need to shower? But if you've showered every single day your whole life, you don't know what it's like to go without. And how now I look at it more as a luxury, or how magnificent a shower can actually feel. But when you do something over and over again, it becomes normalized. It's not novel anymore. It becomes part of expectations and so many things that happen. So, had I not made the decisions to go out and just engage myself and try new things and go, well, less is more. It's like something I learned in the Feldenkrais method, which was very awesome to learn. It's very quite inverse. It's just like I grew up in a generation where like it was a Nike or no fear. It's like no pain, no gain. It was such a mentality, or working in the gym industry. That was like very much a no pain, no gain kind of aspect. And then I went into other healing aspects and of of this world and what we can learn. And what Moshe Feldenkrais brought was the opposite of that, that less was more. And giving up my worldly belongings and selling everything I owned, and went out, like going out on the road and detaching. It's the art of detaching attachment. I mean, there's times that I can think of like a random thing that I once owned, and it was like, oh man, that's interesting. Not interesting that I don't have it anymore. There's sometimes where I'm like, that was a cute outfit, for example, and I don't have it anymore. But it's nothing more than really that. It's not like I couldn't go find something similar to that. In fact, the internet is like gives me an ample opportunity to go out searching for any of the things that I once had, and it can easily come back to me just as easily as it came before. But learning how to detach from our things, I think that was like a huge thing that things and things that I came to was really like looking at that aspect where I knew and know that everything that we have is energy, everything. And if I choose to own something, and bring it into my life, that costs me something. It's not just going and purchasing something. I used to buy stuff like crazy. That used to be like what one would look at as an addiction. And I looked at all, like, there's so many different kinds of addictions out there. And when I just took that time and looked at how every one of the things that I owned actually cost me something. If I was to move, I would need an extra spare bedroom to be able to hold these things, or a closet or a drawer or something. That everything that I owned actually was causing me to make certain decisions on my next indicated moves of life. And I can remember the day where I just thought, gosh, it was more like all hands on deck. I need to look at myself and revamp and change everything that I'm doing. Like, why is it that I'm not happy? What, like, the world told me if I had all of this stuff that I would be happy, and I am miserable. And what does this really cost? And what would this energy actually get me? Like, if I like, we all get a certain amount of energy. There's an endless amount of energy, but there's so much that I can store within my space. So what is it? It requires more. And so I thought, that I would just get rid of it all, and I would utilize it, and I'd utilize that energy. And I've shared on this show that, my first steps out into this world and selling everything was not easy. I was very attached to my securities that I had externalized into my reality. I was very attached, and it was very scary, and I was a very anxious person, and it led to a lot of psychological breakdown for me. But I knew within that space, no matter what other people were saying, that I needed to heal myself. I needed to be able to be secure without external belongings. I needed to right size and find what it is that I actually needed in this life in order to sustain happiness. And the other parts, when I look at happiness and fun and play, this is a big common theme, I think, for many of us out there. What is it that you do for fun? I would love to hear in any of the comments what it is that you find is fun for you to do, that is sustainable. I think that so often we end up getting so bored in this life, and how important it is that we keep things novel. And it's doing something different all the time. And when we keep things novel, we keep things kind of sharper within our mind. Novelty also adds like an element of, you don't know quite what's about to happen. This can add anxieties and certain things, especially people that are anxious want to be able to control things, want to know what's about to come. And if you are living within that space, novelty isn't necessarily comfortable, but it's a very important thing to learn about. And and I just remember, like, there was this one day when we were learning about novelty and the novelty wave, and it was like a silly thing where Zach had taken this thing and he just randomly threw a pen across the room, and it was novel. It was just out of nowhere. Like, why would somebody just throw this pen? And this pen happened. It almost appeared as if it had this like energy boomerang, and ended up hitting the dog right in the middle of her forehead. It did not hurt her. It like hit just perfect. But it was like, holy crap, what just happened there? But there was this level of awakening that it just you could feel it. The senses just honed in a different way. And as much as, not, careful on what you're throwing and being aware, but at the same time, these novel experiences literally keep us awake. And we have so much stuff out in the world right now, currently, that is putting us to sleep, hypnotizing us into a position based off of the music we're listening to, based off of the television that we're watching. All of it is made to control how we're thinking, how we're acting in this reality. If you do even a scratch of digging out there, something so simple as, and I talk about this on the show, that televisions actually were created for hypno boxes, literally for hypnotism. It didn't just all of a sudden stop doing that. So, in order to keep your life not boring, you must find novelty within that space. If you're going to choose to watch television or scroll through your phone, one thing I've shared, I don't watch very much TV at all. And after I had said that just a few weeks ago, I had opined on that subject. I ended up watching The Social Dilemma that was on Netflix. And I think there's more to the shows that they're only giving us part of the information. But if you have not seen this show, I would highly recommend it. It's on Netflix, and if you don't have it, they do 30-day free trial, and then you just cancel it. But it really gives such a different light of what is really happening in this reality, that AI is already running this show. We're already going down this line. So making sure that we're staying awake and aware to what is happening is crucial in our realities right now. And finding play and joy within our space is important within our reality. It's not going to come unless you create it, unless you find it, unless you build it. And it's not anyone else's job but your own. I found, like, there was times in my life, and I look back on different relationships where I presented more comedy in my life. I was more jovial. I told more jokes. And then I found that in my life today, I in so many ways got more serious. And I got very serious there for a while about healing myself. And I lost a lot of the play within that space, or the joke within that space, because it was so serious to me. But the reality is that it's both. It's both. If you can't find a way to laugh at yourself and lighten the load, it's going to be a very long, grueling life. And nobody else can make our lives but us. The people that we choose to have in our lives help us create that. But it is us who is choosing to have those people there. And if we're too serious and lose play and laughter, man, no time like the present to learn how to do it. I remember all the different lines that I've gone down to learn how to be comical and how to make jokes. And I remember watching this a clip on Ryan Reynolds. I just started watching like different comedians on what it was that they did to add comedy to their realities. And really what I found is that it was just trial and error. Like for every 10 jokes or 20 jokes that they told, really only one hit. But the fact is that they just never gave up, that they just had to play with that. And I also found novelty in learning and learning more and then sharing about that. And so I think my biggest things, and like I said, I wondered what flow states I would get in today, on what that would mean and look like. And my flow state is very much on that. What am I driven to right now? And really having fun is a big part. And also those around us. So like this week, and we have not done it yet, but but we like things have started to open a little bit more here, but in California things are very much still closed. I'm not even sure if Disneyland is opened. So, I mean, it is slim pickings, um, or pickings. But we found that miniature golf is open. So we're going to have a group that we're going to go and play miniature golf with one another and dress in unicorn costumes. It's just going to be silly and it's going to be fun. And it's just about stepping outside of the box and doing something different. I used to love dressing up. I used to dress up on all different, like on Halloween, or, if somebody threw some kind of costume party, I was right there. And perhaps that was my theater background. But, I think it's fun to just do something that's very different, and just see what comes of that. Observe the people around you. It's contagious. Our emotions, our play, whatever I'm choosing to do, even in my private life, is because we're entangled, because we're all tapped into this bandwidth. It ripples out to you guys, just as you guys doing the same thing ripples back. So the play that you might find, I will somehow attract into my reality, and then we can share and talk about it here. So that's what I was thinking. I see that there's a Carrie Carlton. Hello, Carrie. Hello. What kind of healing work do you do? Oh, I do all different kinds, Carrie. I'm a multifaceted healer. When it comes to right now, like the business that I do to make the most amount of money is more like massage, body work, sound healing, is really like the main focus. I found like in my background, I've studied everything from different kinds of energy work, Reiki, Qigong, just everything I could get my hands onto all around the world. And I found that the best way to market the healing is really just basically massage. I think that most people at the end of the day just want a massage. A lot of people out there just really want a bandage to get them through to the next step. And so a lot of the advertisement I do for my business is massage. I also do different courses that I teach on how people can heal themselves. And again, it would be things like teaching them about the novelty waves. So thank you for asking. If you're still here, I don't know how long ago you wrote that. But Carrie, welcome to the space. Anyway, so yeah, I do that. And I continue to learn more and more. I definitely do not get away from the different kinds of energy work. It's like when I get in with the client, it's like I'm a medical intuit is how I look at it. And I have been for as long as I can remember. It's like, when somebody complains, and let's say they are having a shoulder issue, it's generally not coming from that unless you had an acute injury to that area. And I can just see where else it's coming from, whether it's the hip, the pinky toe, like it can come from all different areas, just based, like it's all connected. And when I studied, like, for example, the Feldenkrais method, and the very first class we ever did, we learned about suckling. And because that's one of the very first things we ever did when we came into this world. And our brains don't have concept of time. It doesn't know time. We might as well have been born 2 seconds ago because it doesn't know it. So going back and doing some kind of meditation and doing this like suckling, it was called an awareness through movement lesson. And so you just lie there, and there's the teacher that was directing you with the movements. So it was imagining pulsing your lips like you did as a child. Imagine the suckling aspect of that, and then tracking that feeling down. How far can you feel that when you pulse your lips? You can notice that here you're feeling it in your chin, and you can see that not only pulsing it, but it's all the way down your neck. Then you start to feel it down your shoulders and recognize that it's going all the way down your hands. Then you redirect it down to your chest, and it tracks all the way to the bottoms of your feet. It's just bringing awareness to that area. So every client that I work with is very, very unique. Each one of their conditions are unique to themselves. And I carry a strong is a belief. I always say question everything it is you believe, but based off of my history, of my own gathering of information, the magnitude of the thousands of clients that I've worked with at this point, is that basically, if you stuff your issues, they go into your tissues. So even I even find, even if it's an acute injury somewhere where you ended up breaking your foot, for example, Zach broke his foot, but he had some major things going in his life that was past issues. And so it was his left foot that he had ended up breaking. And the left signifies your past, on the left side, your left leg. And your right leg, right foot signify future. So our bodies are a map. They're a map showing us the answers on how we can heal ourselves. So that's the kind of healing work I do. Really, honestly, because it's so multifaceted, like I said, it's been like it has made such a massive difference just to pretty much market my business as massage. And then courses have done pretty well as well. But when it comes to like the different areas that I end up moving to, I'll end up doing some kind of advertisement or video to the different groups in that town. And it just blows up like crazy. It's pretty awesome. Sammy, I love being in nature too. And and tree hugging. Honestly, you guys, going out in nature, I know, like it's so funny. Like growing up, I remember they'd be like, oh, the tree huggers, or even it's probably like so many years ago. I don't know. I've been so connected with plants for so long. And that was the other thing that I was thinking about was like animal medicine and plant medicines that I started to understand quite a long time ago. And there was a lot of information that came out about how plants have consciousness. Just like if you talk to your plants, they're like a study. You take one plant and you only say hateful things to it, it struggles to even grow. If you take another plant, you speak only love and care, and your intentions within your mind is filled with that space, that plant will flourish. It literally communicates to the plant, and the plant literally communicates to you. So, tree hugging, I think, got a really, really, really bad rap for a long time. I think it was like made fun of and not looked at it the same. But I say go try it. Go wrap your arms around the tree, connect your heart to that heart space, and just really feel that experience. I honestly I don't know about the scientific backing on this, but it really does feel as if oxytocin is released into your system by that. It is a connection, a conscious connection with another being on this planet. And yeah, and I also thought about animal medicine, and for any of you that are looking to go farther, like where do you even begin for this stuff? I remember when I was in the jungle and I'm talking to some amazing, fantastic curandero, and it changed my life. There was so many messages that he gave me just with this one conversation. And one of the things that he had presented to me in seeing in my future kind of aspect, it was like the divination to my future. And he talked about animal medicine. And I was like, where do you even begin? And I was like 35 at that time. And so it was just like, where do you where do you start? Like in some ways I felt older, or like how far behind I was with that space. And as he was telling me this, there was literally a lizard that was just on the screen right next to me. And it was just speaking of the animal medicine that was within that space and the power. And it just began the digging. And it began with just like anytime I would see an animal, I would just start to Google about it. What does this animal mean, animal medicine wise? So I would just say lizard animal medicine, and it would pull it up, or animal totem, because sometimes like if you look up cat animal medicine, it will bring up like the vets and all that. But so either medicine or totem, and I just began to learn about it. And then and it was more than just that, because it wasn't just like what did the computer tell me, or what did the book tell me? It was, what do I personally know about this animal? What can I observe about this animal? And how does that apply to me and my reality? And I can tell you that every time I have done that, there has been an answer. There has been some kind of guiding light that has come with that. And the different plant medicines that are there is the same kind of thing. Like if you're having a ton of dandelions growing in your garden, or which we look at as a weed, what does the dandelion mean? What message is it trying to bring to you? Why is this in an abundance in your reality right now? There's no such thing as coincidence ever. So it's just continue the dig. So many of us pray out there, right? And so I like to give mention to the fact that our prayers are being answered all over the place. The universe is conspiring to help us. And whatever we're focusing our mind to is what next things are going to be created via our actions, via our speech. And it starts with the things up here. And again, we're all connected via this like whole interweb, like Indra's web. If you know anything about that, it's a whole web system how we're connected. It's like the worldwide internet, but that is us. And anyway, it's pretty cool. Amanda, welcome to this space. Oh, there's so many new faces in here. This is so cool, you guys. I work really hard on not I don't even have to work hard on it. The one thing that I recommend like in this space is like it's really rad to see how much it's grown. And I just believe that if I keep doing it, this message is going to get out farther and farther, and we're all going to be talking about how to heal ourselves, and the consciousness of the world will be raised. And it's important to share this. And so please like, share, subscribe, do all of that, but also create your own. And so we can make this wider and bigger. But don't get lost in the numbers, like especially like that social dilemma show, like what I was talking about on Netflix, is that it is very highly manipulated. And if we like, it was like the like and share or the like buttons weren't necessarily created for the effect they ended up causing. But if you take it as a positive, like, oh yeah, we're up to 200 viewers, guys. Like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the viewers that are in here. But if I base my like esteems, my self esteems, or what I'm doing here within this space off of this number, I am going to be highly affected if there's only 3 viewers within this space. And just even based off of that show, you'll start to realize that, you know, a lot of it is very manipulated by outside sources. And it's not about that number to me. I would like to be able to do this work, share this, have my platform be big, and be able to travel around the world, do retreats around the world, and have people come to me and just do this show like that. That's what I would really like for my life. But I also need to do other work, like doing my massage work and stuff within this space. So not building my esteems off of what that number really is, but I do like to share my gratitude, because it's definitely more than the few that we started with. And man, it is so rad to see that. And it's just doing the thing and putting myself in front of it. And I think about it all the time on how much more I want to do this, because I love actually doing it. And I feel good. Like it just like anyone that has come on this show knows this. Like Sammy's been on this show, Jacob's been on this show, Willow's not been on this show, but she's been on Zach and Aaron's. And there's so many of us that it builds a confidence. It builds a confidence. And I don't know how else to explain that other than it just feels really good. And it feels really good to share this space with others, and you can feel it. You can feel it growing. And so yeah, intuitive healing, that's what I like to go on, and sharing this message with everyone is awesome. Oh man, Kevin, welcome. It's so good to see you in here. Oh, and hello, Beth. Welcome back. Yes. Oh my gosh, how exciting, you guys. Man, what a cool road. And as I was saying before, I jumped on all of, you know, your messages, because I like to include you within this space. It's just like the best way to learn is just with the very first page. And then the more you read it, the more you just get to know and you get to learn. And the more you learn, the less you know. But it is like the intuitive healing and that intuitive process that just comes, and you keep yourself open to that. So yeah, man, I am grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for each and every new viewer in here. I'm grateful for all the viewers that have been here since day one. And I'm grateful even for myself, if it was just me within this space. And it was just like my own journal that I was recording this, like I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I get to build something. And I think that that's what a lot of us are driven for, is we want to build something that means something to us. And I think loving ourselves and healing is a very honorable path. And it's the one that, man, I've just been driven to for as long as I can remember. And thank you for giving me that platform. And I love you guys very, very much. And I think that it's time to draw some animal medicine and see kind of where we're all at, and what this week in stores and entails for us, and bring in meditation to this space. I love the meditations we get to do. You guys' energies are so rad. So rad. And I just like feel so full. Like there's times I'll be playing my flute. I hope that you guys are like in your own space and your eyes are closed, just because I want to create that space. But if you watched it, you would see so often I just get teared up with it. It just is so moving to do this, and experience that spirit, the spirit of the different animals that come in, and all of you guys's. And yeah, cool. I'd love to hear any animals that came into your way. I know with me, we had one bird get like exploded out there. I think that it was a spotted towhee, just based off of the feathers. I've researched it, but when I say exploded, like some animal kind of got it, and now I have a bunch of more feathers. Feathers are pretty rad, pretty rad. So, oh, hello, Patty. Welcome. Yes, Patty, a little late, but the truth is, I'm happy that you're here, and we're just about to do an animal card reading, so you're just in time. Oh, just in time. So I'd love to hear the animals that you've been experiencing. Oh, what? A hedgehog? What even is the hedgehog animal totem? Let's look at that. Hedgehog. Hedgehog. A hog animal totem. Having a hedgehog as your totem is a very strong thing. It will enhance your levels of curiosity, intuition, and protection. You may have to go slow on your defensive attitude towards others, especially when they mean no real harm. This animal totem allows you to understand the best ways of dealing with challenges. Oh, wow. That is really, really good, Sammy. What a cool. Yeah, hedgehogs are super cute. I totally agree. I even wonder if hedgehog is in this book. I don't think it is. What a cool animal. Was it wild? Like, you have wild hedgehogs in England? If anyone's new here, that's where Sammy is at, is in England right now. Wow. Yeah, I don't see a hedgehog in here, but oh, how cool. They are cute. So yeah, Sammy, I would love to know, are they wild where you live? In America, we have them as pets. But I know that most people that ended up getting hedgehogs as pets, they didn't realize that they're nocturnal animals. And so that's something that wasn't spoken about in there. Like, this is hedgehog. Like, I start to look at the fact that they have the quills that can poke you. So that can be your defensive. And then they're also nocturnal. So a lot of parents will get their kids hedgehogs, but can't play with the hedgehogs because they're awake at nighttime. I mean, they can, but it's not really their natural time. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was in our garden. They are wild. What, Sammy? Really? That is so cool. Now, um, like, we have squirrels and chipmunks, which are super cute, but I like some, like, if they've been fed, will come up to you and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, you don't touch them. Are they friendly? Like, uh, uh, yeah, are they friendly? Like, can you pick them up like you would a lizard? You could pick up a lizard? That's really, really cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know where they were wild from and where we would get them. I don't think they're wild here in America. Cool. And then Beth saw a German shepherd, so you had doggy medicine. Oh, dog animal medicine is very powerful. The friend and the protector. Yeah, the dog is pretty rad. 93. Love dog medicine. On a good note, my dog, for any of you that were watching, he's had a cough ever since I found him in the middle of the desert, and his cough is much less. And I was thinking about you guys today. Like, we have done like previous meditations and brought my dogs into the space a bit, and I've been doing a lot of work on him and for a while, because like I just came kind of thought maybe it was hairballs, and have for a while, because he's a white fluffy American Eskimo. But it's been pretty awesome to see. Like, I thought he would have it till he died, and I have no idea how old he is, but he's a bit of an older dog. That's what I've seen. So the loyalty for the dog, and the poem for that dog, Beth, is: "You are so noble until the bitter end. Your medicine is the teaching of true and loyal friends." Oh man, that's so cool. They are nocturnal and pretty shy. Cool. I could see that. I could see that about them. Okay, this is going to be what's helping us this week. The deer. Okay, so we're doing what's helping us, where we're at now, and what is hindering us. The deer is gentleness. I love the deer. So good. Love it. Cool. I love it too, Beth. Cool. Okay, so where we're at now is last week it was the void. Oh, it's the upside down elk. Look at us. We have the deer and the elk. Very powerful. Very good. And then what is hindering us? The upside down bat. Cool. All right. Let's do this. $53. Oh, the elk is stamina. That's the one right before. All right. So deer is gentleness. Dear, so gentle and loving you are, the flower of kindness and embrace from afar. Ah, it's so beautiful. One day Fawn heard Great Spirit calling to her from the top of Sacred Mountain. Fawn immediately started up the trail. She didn't know that a horrible demon guarded the way to Great Spirit's lodge. The demon was trying to keep all of the beings of creation from connecting with Great Spirit. He wanted all of Great Spirit's creatures to feel that Great Spirit didn't want to be disturbed. This would make the demon feel powerful and capable of causing them to fear him. Fawn was not at all frightened when she came upon the demon. This was curious, as the demon was the archetype of the ugly monster that have ever been. The demon breathed fire and smoke and made disgusting sounds that frightened Fawn, or to frighten Fawn. Any normal creature would have fled or died on the spot from fright. Fawn, however, said gently to the demon, "Please let me pass. I'm on the way to see Great Spirit." Fawn's eyes were filled with love and compassion for this oversized bully of a demon. The demon was astounded by Fawn's lack of fear. No matter how he tried, he could not frighten Fawn, because her love had penetrated his hardened, ugly heart. Much to the demon's dismay, his rock hard heart began to melt, and his body shrank to the size of a walnut. Fawn's persistent love and gentleness has caused the meltdown of the demon. Due to the gentleness and caring that Fawn embodied, the pathway is now clear for all of Great Spirit's children to reach Sacred Mountain without having to feel the demons of fear blocking their way. Oh my gosh. That alone is just so awesome. Like, I'm just like looking and thinking on that, where it's like how important it is to love ourselves and understand that we're both our shadows and our light. It's really, we're that demon, and loving our demon, loving ourselves in that space will melt our hearts, that hardened heart. And I just like have these past memories of myself where it was like, oh, this is gonna, callous my heart, this now next terrible thing that happened, and learning how to melt my heart. And that is learning how to love yourself. And man, what a cool helper this week, dear, to come in and show us the sweetness of a gentle fawn, loving ourselves in that space, and perhaps having that image of you being that fawn, looking at yourself when that demon arises. And know that the only way to transcend that is to look at it and then change the perspective and change it with love. Deer teaches us to use the power of gentleness to touch the hearts and minds of wounded beings who are trying to keep us from Sacred Mountain, like the dappling of Fawn's coat. Both the light and the dark may be loved to create gentleness and safety for those who are seeking peace. If Deer has gently nudged its way into your cards today, you are being asked to find the gentleness of spirit that heals all your wounds. Stop pushing so hard to get others to change and love them as they are. Apply gentleness to your present situation and become like the summer breeze, warm and caring. This is your tool for solving the present dilemma you are facing. If you use it, you will connect with Sacred Mountain. Your centering place of serenity and great spirit will guide you. Oh man, what a good medicine to have helping us this week, you guys. I love it. I love the deer. Like I feel extra tied to deer for many reasons. But one of them is just my name, like Gentilly, Gentilly, and gentleness. You know, like it is the power of the deer, even just with my name, and I love it. So where we're at now, it's saying is the elk, which is stamina, and we pulled it in reverse. So it says, elk, the poem is elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me the strength and stamina are one. Oh gosh, that's such a good poem. I like it. Okay. So in the contrary, if elk has appeared in the reverse position, you may be stretching the rubber band to the breaking point. Be careful of undue stress levels, or you might just create an illness to force you to take a break. On another level, you may not be honoring your desires for companionship with the opposite sex, and you may have forgotten the excitement of mating season. If this is the case, you may find that your best option is to invite friends of the opposite sex for dinner or an afternoon outing. This is not to say that you would be sexually interested in these friends. It is merely suggesting that the exchange of opposite energies could be rewarding. When I was reading that, that's what I was thinking, is that we the divine marriage is literally within us. We have the masculine and the feminine side, the logical side of our brain and the creative side of our brain. We are both. We get lost and confused in the relationship. So really the balance is inside of us. And this is why going out with the opposite sex, and like for me especially, like I am overly an emotional person, and we could talk about my astrology. I'm a double Cancer, very, very, like, emotions have run the show for a very long time. But for me to learn how to operate a logical mind, how to work that efficiently, effectively, strengthen it, all of that, I need a teacher that knows how to do that. So having someone like Zach in my life is just awesome, because he is like completely the opposite of me in so many ways, but so logical. So I love that the elk is talking about that. And I'd like to bring that to that reality, because the divine union is within you. That balance within your space is within you. So yeah, bring in the opposite sex, see what the balance is for that. If you are in a relationship, it may be that the honeymoon is waiting and that you need to stir up some excitement. Persistently creating a change of pace is a kind of stamina needed for any relationship to last. In all cases, Elk is telling you to look at how you choose to create your present pathway and how you intend to perpetuate it to reach your goal. Your best weapon is the same as Elk's: to stop when you need to persist when you need to, and to allow room for change and exchange of energies. Oh my gosh, what a great medicine to be using. It's where it's saying we're at right now, you guys. Like bringing about the balance, figuring out what we need, be persistent to it, and have that energetic exchange. That makes a lot of sense. And now we're going to see what is hindering us within this space, which was the reverse, and that was the bat again. It's so funny to do that. It's like opposite. And bat is known for rebirth. So sacred bat flew to me from the darkness of the cave, womb-like reflections, answers it gave. Birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipse the journey of the soul. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So beautiful. So, in the contrary, if that is still hanging upside down in the cave and immersed in darkness, you have met its contrary medicine. This position leads to stagnation of the spirit and a refusal to acknowledge your true destiny, which is always to use the talents you have to the fullest. Is there some area of your life that has dammed up and therefore stopped your desire to create? If so, look at surrendering to the death of the stagnation. Oh, this would be really good to pull into your meditation, you guys. Like while I'm playing, is imagining the death of that stagnation and rebirthing that creation. That can also imply that in the reversal of your natural cycle of rebirth, you are trying to go at life in the backwards mode. This is a breech birth in a sense. This type of, I don't know, occluded understanding. It's OCCLUDED, occluded, of how to go about freeing yourself can lead to a stillbirth if you struggle too long in the birth canal. The final outcome can be death of the body. Some people think themselves into a corner with obstacles that are illusionary. By the time they decide what to do, the opportunities are gone and old age is upon them. All of their dreams have passed them by. Reverse Bat says to use your mind, courage, and strength to ensure any easy labor and quick delivery into your new state of understanding and growth. How congruent and connected is that with the medicine of the elk to have them helping us? That energy in this week is awesome. Surrender to the new life you have created from thought and desire and bravely greet that dawn. If you are concerned with today and tomorrow, but not much further, you may forget to see further down the road. Tribal teachings say that you are responsible for future generations because you are the ancestors of the future. Whatever you do today will affect the next 7 generations. Every decision, every thought is to create a state of stagnation or rebirth for those that follow you on the good red road. If you are blocking yourself, you may be blocking the generations to come. Bat flies at night, and in the night are born your dreams. These are the dreams that build future civilizations, so nourish them well. Oh man, that is so good. So good. The mosquito. Oh man, yeah. I Mosquitoes have been quite the medicine. Um Honestly, I feel like mosquitoes helped save my life when I was in the jungle. I had been bit by a death death fly pretty much. That was yellow and had red eyes, and I broke out in a fever afterwards. And I honestly believe it was the magnitude of the mosquitoes that had come and that sucked out whatever like helped with the toxins that were in my body. I have a very different view of mosquitoes. I've definitely been driven crazy by mosquitoes, and I've also learned how not to kill mosquitoes when I've been covered in sweaters of them. And mosquitoes is a very interesting medicine. I always say if there's any more critters you'd like to bring in the meditative space when we do it, just open your heart and allow them to come in the same way. Today, we're going to work with the 3. And I really love you guys and love that you're here. And so if you haven't gotten any water by you, I always say make sure to get some water in you now or after the meditation. Water is really powerful. Again, it hears our vibrations, and we are between 70 to 90%, depending on the science that you're reading, water. And so loving it, just like telling it like the plants, I love you, I'm grateful. It speaks to that, and that's what you'll end up attracting. So cheers to the water. And I'm ready to begin. If you guys are ready, I'm really excited to create a nice, beautiful, calm, loving space with you. I'm grateful you're here, and I love you very much. So find a seated position or lie down, whichever is most comfortable for you. You want to make it easy, not that you're holding yourself up. And just work on an easy breath. Just breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And when you inhale, imagine inhaling bright, crystalline light, positive, and breathe that in easily. And with every inhalation, every inhale, imagine it going deeper and deeper down into your belly and circle around that crystalline light inside that gut, igniting it. And breathe in and then exhale any dense energy that you feel and slough it off. Breathe in the light and slough off any dense negative energy. And while sloughing it off, imagine sending that energy out through the bottoms of your feet, out through a red wiring system, out into the earth, where it can be rebalanced with the positive and negative. And breathe in the crystalline light. Very good. Breathing in the love. Now breathe out the love into your space. Now imagine above your head, you can draw a triangle. Draw a triangle. And then connect the points of that triangle beneath your body. And then draw another triangle below your body. And connect the points of that triangle above your head. So it looks like a 3-dimensional Star of David that you're sitting inside of. This is your safe place, your Merkaba. And only love gets to be in this space. If you feel anything you'd like to let go of and not have there anymore, I've placed a heavy wooden box with a very heavy lid. Any extra stresses you want to take off and place inside that box, go to it now, open the lid, and put it inside. Negativity, anger, frustration, disappointment, all of that goes inside of there. And then shut that heavy lid and place yourself in this Merkaba, seated or lying. Very good. And breathe in the light and breathe out the light. Very good. We're going to call in the animals now. Can you feel them coming? The deer. You have a wiring system on top of your head. And this wiring system looks like the strands of your DNA. The helix, the double helix. And see that deer. Is it a fawn? Is it a doe? Is it a buck? Is it all three? Connect your wires to the heart of this deer. Dear, so gentle and loving you are, the flower of kindness, and embrace from afar. So gentle and loving, the flower of kindness. Now breathe the deer in, down through your crown, down through your mind, down through your throat, and into your heart. Feel the gentleness of the spirit of the deer. Thank you for coming. The love that you share. Not afraid of the demons. You bring such beautiful knowledge here. And now we're going to call in the elk with all its stamina and beauty and power and grace. See the elk coming in and take more of your wires, your DNA, and connect it to the heart of this magnificent elk. Elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me the strength and stamina are one. Very good. And breathe the elk in and breathe it down through your crown, down through your mind, down through your throat, and into your heart, where you can receive the information of this elk, the joy, the power, and stamina here. Thank you for coming and showing us where we are now. And now it's time to rebirth ourselves with the bat. See the bat in all its black and voided glory, how it knows to navigate the shadows in a very special way to navigate with sound. Connect more of your wires to the heart of the bat and breathe the bat down into your heart. Sacred bat flew to me from the darkness of the cave, womb-like reflections, answers it gave, birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipsed the journey of the soul. Very good. Thank you for coming. And breathe in the energies of the bat, and breathe in the energies of the elk, and breathe in the energies of the deer. And while I play for you, breathe the energies of the elk and deer and bat down into the earth and ground it to bring about your stable foundation. And then breathe them back in and cycle this energy while I play for you. Very good, you guys. Come back to your breath now. Just breathe in simply through your nose and out through your nose. And sense what feels different now that you've taken this moment to listen and to hear. What does your heart say now? Does it feel more open? Does it say, I love you, thank you? Because that's what I hear. You are so awesome, and you are so loved, and you are strong with magnificent stamina, an ability to glide and guide a gentleness into your reality. You have the ability to navigate your shadows and love yourself there and love others there too. We are love. You are love. And you are magnificent. I see you with every beat of your heart. I feel you penetrating this reality. You are strong. Thank you. And feel that gratitude. You did this for yourself. You came to this space. You took a moment to build the love in your reality, the positive strength. How awesome is that? And how awesome are you? Now take your right hand and give yourself all the love. And take your left hand and place that over and put it right directly over your heart. Receive the love and give the love and breathe this energy in, out, and in. And send it as far out into the universe, as far as you can conceptualize. And then breathe it all back into your space. Very good. And now take your beautiful arms and wrap them around you. And I am going to do the same. And we will give each other the most beautiful group hug. And slowly come back and slowly open your eyes. I love you. And I'm grateful that you're here. You're awesome. And you're worth it. You are so worth it. You have so much to offer this reality. You are a genius. It does not mean book smarts. That means you have something so unique lying inside of yourself. And you are the genius. You are that creator. You get to ignite that. And here we embrace and we build that love. Whether we are actually physically touching or not, we are. Like, even if we were touching and my arms were wrapped around you, guess what? Based off of our atoms, we wouldn't actually be doing it. So what's the difference of this? I don't know if that makes sense, other than going more into scientific description of how atoms can't touch the other atoms and how you wouldn't actually touch. This is as good as it gets, you guys. Right here, this embrace. Loving yourself, loving me, loving the others that are in this space. We are one and the same, but we are also unique. And we have so much to raise and add to the consciousness of this world. And it's rad that you're here. And I'm grateful. And I say, yeah, wow, chills all over. I love it. Guys, this is so cool. Cards definitely spot on again. Meditation was rad. I love you too, Patty, very much. I'm grateful that you're here. So grateful. And so beautiful. Your music helps me every time. Oh, Patty, thank you. I dream of even more instruments, to be honest. Like, I love my flute so much and continue to play it, but my friend just got one of those panda drums. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a pan drum, but it's a cheaper version. And I just there's so many instruments that I want to play too within this space. But my flute is by far my favorite instrument of all my instruments. And I think I definitely want to play the violin again. I've been looking at violins. I think that would be really rad. Things that are made of nature. Oh, chills are. Oh, guys, this is so awesome. Love to you all. Seriously, huge hugs. So much love. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me and all of us so that we can do this thing. Like, subscribe, and share. If you're watching this on Facebook, we have the YouTube channel, Expanded Understanding. Click over there, subscribe. Zach and Aaron do a great show. Angela does a great show. There's a lot of good information that's out there, and we're only growing. And I hope to see you guys sooner than Sunday. But if not, I will see you back in here next Sunday. And thank you for being with me on this journey. I love you so, so much, and look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. I love you all. Love you. Bye.